from as far back as I can remember, I've always played basketball. Like I want to say, like maybe even kindergarten. I like the YMCA. I have two older sisters that played, and I wasn't old enough to be on a team. So my dad got me my own basketball, and he has like these pictures of me just dribbling up and down the side of the court with a binky in my mouth. Like I couldn't even talk. Like I was just dribbling the ball. My fifth grade year, me and my sisters decided, we're like, oh, let's try volleyball. We want to try volleyball. So we stepped away from softball and pursued volleyball. And then once it got to high school, we just stuck with volleyball and basketball. Basketball to me is more rewarding. And so I think that's like what really drew me towards basketball. And I'm a physical person. I like to be able to go and hit my opponents. In volleyball, you can't even touch your opponents. So I'm like, what's the fun in that? Basketball, it's more physical, it's more rewarding, it's a lot. I personally think it's a little more harder sport on the physical body, maybe a little bit more. I mean, I was pretty devastated in the moment, but I am grateful I went through that ACL surgery and dealing with all the emotions and the mental setback and physical setback. Um, if I could change anything, I wouldn't, just because I feel like I grew so much within that year of progressing back to be able to play and to come to college and play my freshman year. I think I just really like matured in my mental state of mind for like just through adversity and dealing with physical pain and having to come back from that. Now, like I'm really like more in tune with my body and understand when I need a break from like mental state of things or even physical, and I understand like when I'm not putting on enough weight or like muscle, like I think I'm just a lot more in tune with my body and mind from that. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot. I think like for me at the time, I wish I had pursued like counseling and like talking to a therapist, because I feel like I definitely bottled a lot of things up and didn't really um, deal with my emotions in a healthy way. And just like growing up too, I wasn't really so much in tune with my emotions. I was always like the kid that was told rub some dirt on it, like if you're gonna cry, I'm gonna give you a reason to cry. So I'm like, okay, like yeah, I'm not gonna cry. But so I was just always like a kid who just I play a lot better when I'm pissed and angry, and so that just fills my fire. But once I bottle a lot of things up, I think I release it in a bad form. um, but so like that process really helped me understand how to feel my emotions within that moment and understand that it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to be pissed, it's okay to hate the sport, at times. Like it's okay to talk to someone, it's okay to get help and ask for help. Like that's just something that I really appreciate about like this generation and like in the world today. Like your mental health matters, and I like how much advocated it is. Community health. Um, but I'm gonna go into and get my master's to get my BCABA and become a behavior analysis, and hopefully work at a pediatric clinic and work with kids with additional needs. So that's what I really want to do, and I'm passionate about. Um, but yeah, so like I feel like for me, like I just instill a lot of to the younger kids, like just remind them that like their mental health matters. Sometimes it's okay, you need to take a break from the sport. Sometimes it's okay, you need to take a day from academics. I think I never really fully understood how much people really like looked at me as a leader or like as this idol almost, until like last year, just making it to the tournament and raising awareness for missing and murdered Indigenous peoples. Um, I think that's when I fully realized I was like, oh wow, like my support system goes beyond my family, goes beyond my friends, goes beyond the Bozeman community. Like, I have people and from different tribes reaching out to me from different states that I like just get some like encouragement, or they're like proud of me for raising awareness and using my platform. And for me, like I feel like within that moment last year, I was feeling overwhelmed. I was like, okay, I have everyone watching me. I need to put on this face when I'm here. I need to do this when I'm here. I can't do this and I can't do this, but I need to do this. And I felt like I was kind of losing myself in the process. But this year, I'm really like, full go, just enjoying and taking in everything and understanding that I have this platform and like my social media followers, I kind of got a lot, and like Facebook goes beyond a lot too. And so I just use that to voice things that other people who are like me and Native American don't really have the opportunity to, or like don't have the voice to at all. Like for me, like before every game, I always remind myself, God gave me this opportunity to play the sport that I love. So I'm playing for an audience of one. And I'm also playing for all those missing girls that don't have justice or that were murdered, and those families that never really got to watch their daughters play the sport. And so like for me, it's like I'm gonna play with the strength with them, and like they're on my back, they're on my shoulders, I'm playing for them, I'm playing through them, and I'm playing through God. And so like that's just like my mentality on that. And so like this year I'm just really taking everything in and gonna play and use my voice for what I believe in and what I think needs to happen, what needs to be heard, and what needs to be brought to attention. And so yeah, Jeremiah 29:11. I actually have it tattooed Roman numerals on my wrist. So when my head's hanging low, I see that first thing and I'm like, God always has a plan. But so, okay. So, for I know the plans God has for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And that's just been like the verse that stuck with me ever since I could remember. Like my oldest sister, Naomi, she had this rare like blood clot disorder thing form in the back of her head and was like seeding into her brain when she was in 7th grade. And I was like in 4th grade. I didn't really understand what was going on. And, they flew to Denver. And at that time, I didn't understand, like, I was saying goodbye to her because like the doctor told my parents, they're like, science says she shouldn't be here today. Science says she shouldn't make it through the night. Like science says this, and I'm not supposed to bring in miracle. Like I don't know what you believe in or what, and I'm not supposed to say this, but your daughter's a miracle. And in that moment, like my mom just kept saying Jeremiah 29:11, the whole time. And in me, little 4th grader, had no idea I was saying goodbye to my sister. And she wasn't supposed to return to any physical activity. She wasn't supposed to play another sport. And she ended up playing high school volleyball and basketball throughout high school, went and played collegiate volleyball for 4 years, and is now like getting a doctorate in occupational therapy. Like I think like her, like just getting through that and just remembering Jeremiah 29:11, God always has a plan. Like, like science isn't always right. And so just holding on to that. And then again, recent years, my mom was diagnosed with brain cancer. And that was one thing I just kept holding on to. I was like, okay, the big man has a plan. Like there's something here. No way he's going to take my mom from me. No, like what is happening? What is unfolding? And so I just had to like fully put my trust in him and, believe that there is something that's going to come out of this, something good that's going to come out of this, and just holding on to that. And during that time, me and my oldest sister, Naomi, we went and got matching tattoos of this. And so like and that just like a constant reminder, like when I'm having a hard time at college or like even in basketball, and I have my head hanging low, like I look down and I just always see like 29:11. And I'm like, okay, there's a plan. He's prospering me. He's not going to harm me. Like there's always something, like I can get through this. I can do this. And so like, that's obviously kind of been like my favorite verse out of the Bible just growing up. And, I still carry it with me today. It was honestly so inspiring. Like it was just like, it was so cool and like amazing that they were giving recognition to those players, and then like highlighting the reservations they came from and who they are, not just like, them themselves, but like their family and what and who they came from. And I thought that was so cool that they gave that recognition, especially to Native Americans, because, we're such like a limited, like low population as it is. And I thought it was really cool to highlight that, especially in Montana, because there are, I think there's 8 now federally recognized tribes here. And so I thought it was really cool that you guys included that within the movie. And that I thought it was really cool how much like he recruited too. And that he would go watch and, like on the reservations. I'm like, that is so cool to me. Like, I find that, I will always like remember those names, like I think that's just so awesome. And I think it just gives hope for the younger generation too, if they were to watch this and just see that, like, they can do it too. Like, yeah, that's another native in college at D1, playing a sport, going to school, getting, their degree. Like, I think that's so awesome. Like, I can do that too. Like, that's how I was. Like, when I was younger, I remember Jude and Shoni Schimmel, they had their own TV show almost when they were in high school. And then I like watched all that, and then we watched them go to Louisville and like dominate there, and then carry on to WNBA and overseas. And in my head, the whole time, I was like, they're Native American. They came from a reservation too. They are making it D1. They're doing this and that. And like in my head, I was like, I can too, like I don't have to stay here. Like I don't have to, go through the same cycle everyone else has to. Like I can stand out as well, just like they did. Yeah. I'm actually maybe next year, hopefully, if I can get signed somewhere, would want to go play overseas for a season while I take a year off of school and then come back and apply to get my master's. I think Europe would be cool. There's a lot of things to explore there. I'm not sure which part of that. I mean, like Italy is kind of cool and like fascinating, but I would honestly be grateful for anywhere just because, I like to travel as well. And so I think that'd be cool to go live somewhere else for 6 months and, and not have to go to school. I'd just be playing basketball. Like that's the dream. Honestly, I would say to never doubt yourself. You are always going to have a chance, and to always seize the opportunity when you can see it. And always go into something like you have nothing to lose, like you shoot for the moon, shoot for the stars. You can go above and beyond as long as you believe in yourself. You don't need your dad, you don't need like obviously that helps when you have people who else like believe in you, but I think it starts within like yourself and within like right here. Like you need to talk to yourself, and I mean if you're religious, talk to God and just like really sit on it and ponder like, okay, I can go beyond high school, I can go beyond a high school state championship, like that doesn't really matter. I can go to college, I can go play basketball, I can go play volleyball, I can run cross country. You just have to believe in yourself. And I think that starts with how you talk to yourself and how you prepare yourself in the moments. And another huge thing I know that is so hard for kids who grow up within a Native American family is we are so family orientated. And that's my favorite thing about being Native is I'm so close to my family. And I know it can be so hard and terrifying to think about going to college, like an hour, 2 hours, 10 hours, however far away it is. But family is always going to be there. Family will always be there. They're always a call away. You can drive there on the weekends. Like they will always be there, but please seize the opportunity and go to college no matter how far it is, because family is always there. This is 2 to 4 years out of your life and you're going to go back. Like family will always love you. Blood is forever. And like, don't worry about like the friends you're going to be missing. You're going to make new ones. College is where you meet the people that actually love you for who you are and are going to be there for the rest of your life. And so like, that's like the biggest thing is like family's always going to be there. So please just go to college. Please take that 4 hour and go live 4 hours away. It's okay. They're always going to be there. The ones who truly love you and support you will always be there. Like that I know now that I didn't know in high school is your teammates are gonna be in your life forever, like the ones that you meet in college. And to cherish the ones you have in high school, cherish the ones you have on your club team and your middle school team. Like those are gonna be the best friendships you're always gonna look back and remember, because you each go through the blood, the sweat, the tears, the hardships. You're all gonna have bad days, you're all gonna have great days. And we're all just here to support each other, lean on each other, and just to always remember those friendships, because you'll always run into them later in life too. Like I still run into my volleyball teammates from high school and I like catch up, and it's still like, remember those days, remember this practice, and you go back to that. Like they're the ones who are doing the hard things with you. And I think like that's just something very valuable that comes out of a team sport. A few coaches have been like mentors to me, and I still talk to them. Like my high school volleyball coach, Jeff Carroll, he is still a huge person in my life and huge advocate. Like I will reach out to him when I'm struggling, and he's also a man of God, and so he gives me Bible verses, or just speaks the truth from the book to me, and always reminds me to fight the good fight. And just also, he's also someone that understands basketball and understands sports and what it is from a coach's perspective side of things. And so it's always nice to talk to him. And even when I was in high school, we would read these leadership books and have present them to the team once a week and apply outside of your sport and apply it to the sport. And I think I just really grew from that. And also my college coach right now, she's more than a coach. She loves you on a different type of level. She cares about the person you are and your family and who you are going to be after college. And I think that's what I appreciate the most about her. And she has been really in my corner for the things I stand for, and pushes to have games and we wear red for missing and murdered Indigenous peoples. Or this year we're going to have a cancer awareness game, brain cancer, because my mom has brain cancer, and so they ordered gray jerseys today, so we're gonna have a game for that. And we're gonna do a mental health awareness game, and all these things. We're gonna do an equality game. I don't think I know the true measures of it, but even when we go and play at the Griz, their fans are ruthless. They are mean. They know your name. They know who your sisters are. They know your family. Anything to get to your head, and they don't care. They're like, oh yeah, I don't care. Those of you suck. I don't care that. I know that, I don't know. They're just mean. But I'm sure that's how they feel when they come here. But it runs deep. I mean, I think after hearing his story and him bringing basketball to women's side and being the first coach at U of M is huge, because he took a chance on girls, and especially in that time frame. People were probably questioning, can girls even handle basketball? Can girls handle going full court? Do they have the physical frame to do it? Just that kind of talk. But obviously it's 2021 and we've moved from that. We're moving to women and men are equal. And so I think that him as a person, as a character, really speaks volumes of who he is, because he was able to go against the norm, against what society believed about women, and believed in these women, and had amazing teams and amazing careers for the Griz, and still is the best coach to ever go through the Big Sky. And I think just having an advocate like that compared to now, and having the Rob That House Built movie, for people to watch and see, highlighting women, it just shows how powerful and strong mentally and both physically a woman can be and what they can do. Yeah, we can go to college, and yeah, we can pursue and get a degree just like men can. Yeah, and we can play games just as much as you can. We can keep up. We can probably win more games than you can too. I think the resiliency that you build and have to hold as a person, because you're going to go through adversity, whether that's an injury, whether that's torn ACL, a concussion, academics. It teaches you structure. It teaches you responsibility. It teaches you more than just a sport. You learn how to work and communicate with your teammates who are just going to be in the workforce. You got to work and collaborate with your employers. And it's the same thing. You get that social aspect on how to communicate and how to collaborate and work and find out strategic ways that are gonna work to get the ball in the net, just like how you would at work, to figure out how this intervention is gonna help this fourth grader build self-esteem, and so I think it just, all the adversity you have to plummet through, whether it's for me, my biggest one was when I found out my mom had cancer 2 years ago. And that really hit me hard. And it was during COVID, and we were in and out of quarantines and didn't know if we were going to see it or not. And I was just I don't want to be here. And I blamed basketball for keeping me away from my mom, because I wanted to be there with her while she was going through, cancer and chemo and radiation. And that was the hardest part for me. But also basketball gave me that escape to let all my anger out. I could let out on the court. I could, go hit someone, and I felt so much good. And it like drained like a lot of energy out of me practicing every day and gave me a good escape from reality. And like, whether like academics is hard and you just failed an exam, like you can always go to practice and do really good and, feel kind of good about yourself from that day. And so I think like honestly, just the resiliency you build while playing basketball and all the challenges you have to go through that comes with it builds your character beyond the court and beyond the classroom. Like it builds who you are going to be as a person afterwards, and how you are going to be as a family person, and how you're going to be able to like work with your employers or communicate to other people, And I think it just also gives you more opportunities and people to know in the higher up world that can help you out later on in life.